Alright guys, we can start. So let me show you how to start, how I open Blender and then start working. So first I disable the camera, disable the visibility here in the top right corner and the light. I disable their visibility, then I go to the cube, X, delete. You can see my shortcuts here in the top corner, in the top left. So this is our concept. It will be always on screen. My advice is to put your concept on the same screen that you're working on, like I'm doing here, with a PureRef application. The PureRef is an amazing application, and you can make it by mode, always on top. You right click, mode, always on top. It will always be on top of every program you put. And this will mean that you can put it wherever you want with the right click and move. And with the middle click, you can move inside your images. I have a lot of images in this file right now, but I will give you just this one, just the concept, because the other ones, they are not interesting that much. So the idea here is we have to put a sphere and start working. Let's do it. So how to put a sphere? Shift A, mesh, sphere. Okay, we have a sphere. Now this course, this video will be kind of short, like 20 minutes. Next video will be short. And then we will start doing a little bit longer videos, because I think at some point we need to do work, we need to put the work. So the videos will be no longer the 5 hours each. I'm joking, of course. There will be no longer the 50 minutes probably. 50, not 15. Now, what I usually do when I put the sphere on, I usually go here in the viewport shading, which is this little tiny arrow here, and go matcap attribute. This gives me a little bit better shading, and also it makes it sure that we will have our polypaint active. We will see our polypaint, which is great. Now I will go to this here, which is viewpoint overlays, and I will disable floor and enable statistics. Statistics are nice to see how much edges I have, how many edges and triangles and whatever I have on my screen, so you can, see how you're doing also. Okay, now we have the sphere. The last thing we need to do before we start sculpting this sphere is to go and press N. And here go to View, and the focal length should be 88. Press N. And then what I do usually, me personally, I don't know if you want to do it, Control Tab. Control Spacebar, not Control Tab, excuse me. Control Spacebar. You see, Control Spacebar is removing this menu here. It's hiding it. It's not removing it. Relax, it's not. No, it will be there, but it's hiding it. So you will have more space to work, to sculpt, because this menu is not needed right now. You are intermediate users, hopefully, and you know how to use this menu with Control Tab, and you know what we will do here. But in the beginning, in the phases of the first sculptings, I always start with the head and everything. We don't need this menu at all. So now we go to sculpt mode, and I always do it by Control Tab down, sculpt mode. So with Control Tab, usually you get this pie menu, and you can go to object mode, Control Tab, edit mode, Control Tab, sculpt mode. But we go to sculpt mode. I usually also make sure my brushes are all visible, just by dragging the side of them a little bit. If you drag them more, you will start seeing their names, but we don't want that. We don't want the names. We want to see all the brushes, which is great. Okay, now, everything is great. We have to be positive, Even if something is bad, it's great. We have to be positive. So, next thing, we start. But first, it's not first. It's kind of a next thing, is to turn on our perspective. This is very important. Turning on perspective is, this is differentiating one of the most important things that are differentiating the digital and traditional sculpting. In traditional sculpting, you don't have symmetry. And here we have symmetry, which is great. Now, I press G to get my grab brush, increase the size of it with the bracket keys, then zoom out a little bit, and then I start working. So, let's do a little bit of a, zoom in with the scroll wheel of my mouse on the PureRef file, and I can see the head. So now, I think I should make the cranial portion of the head smaller than normal head. So he's a cartoon character, not cartoon, but stylized, and his upper head is pretty small. Because you see now with the helmet, it looks kind of okay, but usually, let's measure a little bit. Usually, okay, if this is his head up to here, because he has a helmet. So his head is up to here, let's say, and down to around here. So this is the length of his head. His eyes are here. They should be around this area, around the middle of the head, on a normal head. His eyes are much more up, so his forehead is smaller than a normal forehead. And his overall cranial portion, so this portion where his brain is smaller. This is stylization, it's cool. So it's fine. The other thing that we might have to do is overall make this kind of shape. You see how the shape overall, if you squeeze your eyes, is going like triangular, like a triangle of the whole head. This will be achieved by making the cranial portion smaller, making this a little bit wider, making the beard wider, and making a little bit of hair outward, and also those things of the helmet here. So, yeah, it's clear. In the beginning, we need to start doing a human head. So, let's just start it. We may as well just start it. How to do it? Just squeeze the head from the side view. I mean, the sides, squeeze them with the big move brush. I always start working with the big move brush. And then, you know, because in the beginning we need no detail. We need to be more, you know, overall things to do. And now, you see, in this case, we have also the side view of the head. Here we have it. So we can also look at it and see how it goes. So the side view looks okay. It looks like his forehead is smaller. Maybe in our case it will be even smaller because we have to put a helmet on. And also from the side, from the profile view, it will be even smaller because otherwise this helmet will be too much. Let me show you. Yeah, 2D is kind of, you can do more fakes. This will be the helmet. That's okay, yeah, it could be. But if we look at it from the side view, it will be, it could work, I guess. I guess it could work, but I'm thinking to make it a little bit more, you know, like this, the head. Not so wide from the profile view, but we'll see. You know, you can make your own version of this, so it's fine. It doesn't matter what I do that much. But also you can follow my lead, it's also a possibility. Now what I'm trying to do is make the sides a little bit flat. So I'm flattening them with the Scrape Peaks brush, which I use usually. You can check out my brushes, how I make a little bit of, you know, shortcuts. I have shortcuts just for 5 brushes, I think. So when I press 1, I go to Draw Sharp brush. And you can put shortcuts on the brushes just by right-clicking on them and, you know, add shortcut. In this case, change shortcut because I already have one. So Draw Sharp is 1. Draw Sharp is 1. 2 is Clay Strips. 3 is Scrape Peaks. Scrape Peaks is for flattening. I'm making planes. And it's very important to make planes, especially for a stylized character, but not only. If you're making a normal character, making planes is extremely important to be able to get the shapes right. So, okay, now we see we have something like a shape. He has a, yeah, let's make a little bit of a neck in here. Our neck, since he's a strong, you know, male character, the neck will be pretty thick. So, from the side view, I guess the neck will be like this. Let's draw him from the side view. Why not? We have time, it doesn't matter. So from here, we will have our eyebrow. Then we'll have our eyes in here. Then we'll have the nose, the nostrils, lips,